Okay, this is like the third take on this video. I keep rambling on, so I apologize for that. Speaking of rattling on, I have 5 cats watching me. I got one on my lap, you can't see her. Anyway, there's 5 cats here watching me make this video. Okay, this video here is what I feel are mistakes that beekeepers make, especially newbies, in northern states. They buy bees, packaged bees, nooks, whatever, from southern states, like Georgia. He's picking on Georgia. Uh, don't have a problem with anybody from the South. Well, country music, not a big fan of country music. Oh no, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, I'm more of a rock and roll kind of guy. Anyway, buying bees from southern states, I feel is a bad idea because they're accustomed to the warm winters in the South. You bring them, what? You bring a southern bee, see your tail. You bring it's just like you. If you're from Michigan, Maine, anywhere of the cold states, and you go down south, you're not really going to be cold down there. You're going to be like, oh, what do you mean it's cold? It's not cold. It hits 50 down there. They're like, holy shit, it is cold out here. What do you mean? Bees are the same way. They're adapted from being raised down there in the heat, so that's what they're used to. They're used to mild winters. You bring them in a northern state or like Michigan, they're not going to be able to handle the cold. So that's, to me, one of the first and one of the very big mistakes is buying southern bees. Oh, well, they're Italian or Russian, which you don't see too many of those, or Carnolian. Yeah, those bees like Carnolian, Italian, cold, damp days, they're more apt to go out to forage than other bee species. But still, buy bees from northern states. Like in Michigan, Great Lakes bees. They buy their bees, or the packages and nooks that they sell are actually Wisconsin bees, northern Wisconsin. So you know they're used to the cold. So they're more apt to survive the winter. So don't buy southern bees, okay? Don't do it. Pay a little more, get northern raised bees. Another good company, but they don't ship their bees. You have to find a supplier. There's one supplier in Michigan that sells OHB bees, which is Overridge Honeybee Company. Or Overridge Honeybees is actually what the name of it is. They're in Northern California, and it does get cold in Northern California. The spring comes earlier, but it does get cold. I don't particularly like dealing with that guy. It took him 3 months to answer. I even used snail mail, and it still took over 3 months for them to answer me by email or snail mail. So I do buy their packaged bees from a supplier in Ohio, and she just ships them right to me, so they come to my door. Yeah, I pay, $30 more or whatever it is, but to me it's worth it. So don't buy southern bees. Buy bees that are raised in the north because they're adapted to the cold. Another big problem, the second biggest mistake, is new beekeepers have a tendency, I want the gold. I want that honey. You take it in the first year, guess what? The bees are literally going to starve to death during the winter because they have nothing to eat. Bees survive. Oh, you want to see my shirt, you say? There you go. Love it. Anyway, bees feed on the honey they produce. That's why they produce honey. It's not a byproduct. They produce honey because that's what they survive on. They need that honey to survive. That's what they eat year round. So remember that. Don't take their honey because they're not going to survive the winter without food. They literally are going to starve to death. And the one cat wants out. She's going to have to wait. So, southern bees, no. Don't take their honey in the first season no matter how bad you want to. They will starve to death. During the fall, the hive will draw down because they know going into winter we cannot keep a healthy hive with 30 to 50,000 bees, 60,000 bees. They're not going to survive the winter because they don't have enough to eat, because they eat honey. So remember that. They'll starve to death. So in the fall, if you use a top feeder, which to me are the best feeders, in the fall I like to put syrup in mine. I mix 2 cups sugar to 1 cup water. Okay. I add a teaspoon of Honey Bee Healthy, to me, which I just do that. It gives them extra that they need to survive. It makes them stronger. Do not open your hive during the winter. I can't stress that enough. You let out that cold. Bees have to have that temperature upwards of 90 degrees or so. Between 90 and 100 degrees to work the comb, to make comb, to keep it soft so they can work it. So it has to be warm. You open it up, guess what you just did? You just let out all the heat. Now those bees are literally, they could freeze to death because it's too damn cold. And when they draw that hive down, they're losing a lot of the bees, will die off, and they know that. So they cluster together during the winter. If you use a infrared heat sensing camera, which I happen to have, and you take a shot of your hive on a 0 degree day, you'll be able to see where those bees are clustered. They need that heat. Another thing that I do for a little extra precaution, you don't have to, but what I do is I cut 3/4 inch to 1 inch pink board, which is a foundation board, so it can handle the moisture. I wrap the hive in that so it helps keep that extra heat in there. You don't have to, but I do it as an extra precaution. So those are really 3 things that new beekeepers screw up. So don't buy Southern bees. Don't take the honey during the first season. If you have a double brood box and that's pretty much full, and you have a honey super, okay, you know that I could take that super and take the honey without any worries, because the comb in the double brood box will be loaded with honey and nectar and pollen for the winter, so you know they'll be good. Southern bees, no. Don't take the honey on the first season. You take too much honey, they will starve to death. Those are, and moisture is another big problem. Moisture can gather on your inner cover and drip down on the bees. You don't want that. If that moisture starts dripping down on the bees, it literally can kill them. If there's too much, if they get wet. It's just like you go outside during the winter and you're wet, guess what? Yeah. So that's why there's an inner cover. If you watch my other videos, you know the hive parts. The inner cover will prevent that moisture from dripping down onto the bees. So those are basic things to really what I think causes a lot of hive failures. Not counting brood disease, mites, and all that. That's a whole nother video. But those are simple mistakes that I feel new beekeepers make because they don't research enough, or people don't tell them. So, and also make sure you requeen every year. You don't have to, but as the queen gets older, she'll lay less and less young, eggs. So requeen. Queens are available pretty much year round. If you're going to requeen, don't buy a Southern queen. Buy a queen from any northern, OHB. They sell queens year round. But anyway, those are simple mistakes that I feel that now you're going to get people out there say, oh, this guy's full of shit. Well, you know what? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Click on the bee in the right hand corner to subscribe. Click on the little bell there. It'll notify you when I upload a new video. And I just hope you enjoy watching these. I try to make them educational. I try to throw some humor in there for you. Some of my cooking ones, not too many people have commented on the humor, but I do try to throw a little humor in there. So thank you for watching. And yes, I'll let you out.